Hey there, my name's Mabel. I'm 28 years old. I only got married 2 years ago, but these have been the craziest years of my life. I've gone from being the most hated person in my husband's family to being the most loved. And all of that is a result of one person's words and actions, my mother-in-law. But before I get into this crazy story, let me tell you a little about my relationship with my husband. I met my husband, Alfie, when we were in college. We got paired together for a huge project, and over the course of the semester, we realized that we had feelings for each other. We ended up going on a few dates before finally making our relationship official. Before Alfie, I hadn't had any serious relationships. I had crushes, and the closest thing I had to a relationship was when I confessed my feelings to my crush on the last day of senior year in high school, and he told me he felt the same way. Since it was the last day of senior year and we were both planning on going to different places for college, we never got into a relationship. I know this seems pointless, but believe me, this will come up later on. Anyway, Alfie and I had a very healthy relationship from the start. Alfie made me feel so comfortable with him from the get-go, and no man has ever done that. He was also a very good listener and always made me feel like my feelings and thoughts were valid. It's because of this that I knew that our relationship would last for a long time, and it did. When we hit the 1 year mark of our relationship, Alfie introduced me to his mother. His mother had single-handedly raised him, and so he practically idolized her. Not to mention, she was the oldest in his family. She had 4 other siblings, and she was the oldest. When I met her, I immediately felt intimidated. She had this very intense aura, and she seemed so judgmental about me already, while I was on my best behavior with her. And by the end of the meeting, I couldn't help but feel like she did not like me. I never brought it up with Alfie, though, because I didn't know what I would tell him. I was not sure about my feelings themselves, so what would I say? Anyways, after we graduated college, we decided to move in together and spend the next 2 to 3 years focusing on our careers. During this time, Alfie would take me as his +1 to all his family gatherings whenever they happened. These gatherings were dinner parties that were hosted for a variety of reasons, from birthdays to just regular meetups after a long time. Initially, I was loved at these gatherings. Everyone was nice to me, and I was the same with them. And then, after Alfie and I got married, I began to notice that there was a shift in the way that his family treated me. They were very cold towards me. It started with only a few members at first, but gradually, like a virus, it spread to everyone. I once again didn't say anything much to Alfie because I thought I was imagining it all. And then it all came to a head on Alfie's cousin's birthday. I was truly alone during the entire time. Alfie was whisked away by his aunt as soon as we stepped into her home. And then I basically didn't see him at all during the rest of the party. I tried to approach a few people and talk to them, but all of them ignored me and walked away from me. At some point, I felt so humiliated by trying only to get turned down that I stopped trying and just sat in a corner. I had to really control all my urges to not burst into tears. Finally, as the party was winding down, Alfie came over to me only to get dragged away from me again. 10 minutes later, he finally came over to me and we made our way back home. On the drive back home, Alfie apologized for taking so long, and I couldn't help but be envious of his good night. "I'm so sorry that I took so long. My aunt dragged me to talk to my cousins, and then they went on a whole tangent about something, and hey, it's okay, don't apologize. I'm glad you had a good time." "What about you? Did you not have a good time?" "I'm also sorry that I wasn't with you a lot. Everyone wanted to talk to me for some reason." "I had an okay time, I guess." "Okay time? Why?" Did someone say something or do something to you? Did you not enjoy the food? No, the food was great. As for someone saying or doing something to me, no, that didn't happen, and that's the reason I didn't have a good time. What do you mean? Well, I was pretty much sitting alone in a corner the entire time. Are you serious? Yeah, I tried to get up and mingle with some people, but they all ignored me. They would give me a once-over and then just leave me standing there. It got too humiliating to try again after it happened 3 times, so I just gave up and sat alone. Oh my God. I'm so sorry that happened. I don't know why they treated you that way. They're usually such nice people. I'm going to talk to them and see what's going on. No, don't. I don't want that to backfire in any way. Besides, this has been happening for a while now. I mean, I would feel a few of your cousins or your aunts and uncles judging me, but it was never this bad before. Why didn't you say anything to me about this before? I don't know. I guess I thought I was making it up in my head, and then I thought that they were probably taking some time to get used to me being a part of the family. I'm so sorry that you've been going through this. Is there anything I can do to make up for this? Do you think I could maybe sit out the next gathering you have? I just don't want to be humiliated like this again. Of course, I don't want you to do anything that you're uncomfortable with. And don't worry, if anyone says anything about your absence, I'll put them in their place. My heart warmed to hear Alfie side with me so quickly. I was so glad that he was understanding of my issue and that he was ready to make sure that I was comfortable. I was still upset about my night and about my bad reputation with his family. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why they suddenly didn't like me enough to ignore me so fervently. Thankfully, no more events were happening for a while after. Alfie also did not talk to anyone else about my feelings, although I really did have to beg him to not say a word. I did not want to start anything unnecessarily. One day, however, Alfie's sister Laura came over unannounced. Laura and I had a pretty good relationship. She was younger than Alfie and she attended the same college as I. I got to spend a fair amount of time with her and I thought that we had a pretty good relationship. But then that view was going to be changed pretty quickly. I was surprised to see Laura standing at our doorstep, but I was happy to see her, so I invited her in. Oh, hey, Laura, come in. Hi, is Alfie around? No, he just left to go pick up some groceries. Do you need me to pass him a message? No, I mean, yes, but I wanted to tell you too, so it's okay. All right, what is it? I'm hosting a dinner party because I got a promotion at work next weekend, and I wanted to invite you two to it. That's wonderful. Congratulations on the promotion. I know how hard you've been working, and I'm glad it all paid off. Thanks. It was a lot of hard work and time spent. I just want to celebrate with my family, so make sure you two attend. Laura, I love you, and I'm so proud of your success, but I really don't think that I'll be able to make it to the dinner. What? Why? Well, don't you think that I'm kind of an outsider whenever I attend these gatherings? What do you mean? I just mean that everyone always ignores me for some reason. They purposely engage Alfie in conversations and whisk him away from me, so I'm left all alone and I have no one to talk to. And why do you think things are that way? I don't know. I don't think I've ever done anything or even said anything to anyone to cause that reaction. Well, you may not have said it to their faces, but you did talk a lot behind their backs. Hold on, what? What are you talking about? Just the other day, Mom was telling my aunt and me how you'd called her up and talked for hours about how none of the ladies in our family have as good a career as you, and that you feel icky just seeing some of us because of how inferior we are to you. What? I would never say that. I haven't even talked to your mom since since I last saw her at your cousin's birthday party 2 months ago. Oh, come on, Mabel, there's no need to lie. I only came here to personally invite you so I could rub my success in your face. But I could never think that way. I'm nothing like that, I swear. You know, the only reason I'm even nice to you is because you're Alfie's wife. You make him happy, and I don't want anything between us to ruin the way you treat him. But, Laura, I really did not talk to your mom. Here, take a look at my call logs. I haven't spoken to her at all. That's a really weak form of proof. How do I know that you haven't deleted the call log to make sure you look innocent? It wouldn't be surprising considering how you cheated on your high school boyfriend that way. What? I never cheated on my high school boyfriend. I never even had one. Save it, Mabel. I didn't come here to discuss your personality. I have to leave. But tell Alfie about the party. You don't have to come if you don't want to. Cheated? High school boyfriend? What was Laura talking about? And what was that about me thinking that the other women in the family were inferior? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had never once said a mean word against anyone in Alfie's family. I liked them all, and even though they were being cold towards me, there was hardly any reason to be rude or mean to them. The one thing I absolutely hate is talking behind someone's back. So what Laura was talking about would literally never happen. All my thoughts were a jumbled mess in my head after that conversation with Laura. As much as I didn't want to believe it, I knew that Lucy was spreading these lies about me, and I couldn't figure out why. I had never wronged her as far as I was concerned. Even if I did, I would think that she would come to me and talk about it instead of doing something so insane. I don't know how I got through the rest of the day, though, because I was genuinely shaken up by what I had found out. I did manage to convey Laura's message to Alfie, though, and I think at some point he figured out that something was wrong with me. After giving me a day to get myself together, Alfie finally approached me about what was wrong. Mabel, honey, we need to talk. Huh? Oh, yeah? What is it? You've been very lost in thought recently. Is everything all right? Yeah, of course. Why do you think that I'm lost in thought? Well, just right now, you were blankly staring at the TV for about 15 minutes and it's not turned on. You've been this way since yesterday, and I can't help but think that something happened when my sister came to invite us to her party. You're right. Something did happen. I just don't know how to process any of this, and that's why I haven't had the guts to tell you anything. All right. What is it? When your sister invited us, I told her that I wouldn't be able to attend because, we decided that I could skip the next family gathering considering how miserable I was at the previous one. Uh-huh. Did she not react well to it? No, that's not it. She did ask me why I couldn't attend, and I confided in her and told her about how I felt at your family gatherings, and then she told me that apparently your mother has been spreading lies about me to your family. What? What do you mean? She told me that your mother told her and your aunt just a few days ago that I called her to tell her that I thought all the women in your family were inferior because none of them were as successful as me. What? That's insane. That's what I said. And what's even worse is that I haven't spoken to your mom since I last saw her 2 months ago. Did you tell Laura that? I tried to show her my call logs, but then she told me that it was weak proof because she knew how I cheated on my high school boyfriend in the same way. Excuse me? What? Where in the world did she get that idea from? I'll give you one guess. But why would my mom do something as insane as this? I don't know why she went to this extent. I mean, we knew she didn't like me very much, but I didn't think she'd actually go this far. I don't know what to do anymore. I can't keep living like this. I'm a monster to your family. I fully agree. I couldn't figure out why nobody seemed to like you, but now I do. It's time to get even. Do you really want to get even with your mom? Absolutely. She had no reason to mess with you this way, and now she needs to get a taste of her own medicine. Why don't you call her over in a few days? Why? We'll get her to confess to what she's been doing, and we'll record it. At Laura's dinner, we'll play it in front of everyone. I'm sure that no one is going to be pleased with Mom. Okay, that sounds like a plan. I know that I was praising Alfie only a few minutes ago about how he had always made me feel heard and all that, but even though I still believed that, when it came time to tell him what was going on, I couldn't help but panic that he would not believe me. I mean, when you have a tight-knit, loving family and an even stronger and amazing mother, why would you ever believe that they were capable of being a bad person? This is why when Alfie believed me without even doubting me for a reason, I felt like crying. I still don't know how I managed to find someone as amazing as him. Alfie was on top of me to get the best camera to record Lucy's confession. He made sure to even test the camera out and to make sure that we only got the clearest audio and vision from it. I was so incredibly grateful for the initiative that he took. About 3 days after we made our plan, I texted Lucy and asked her if she could meet me at my place because I wanted to discuss something with her. Lucy took a couple of hours to respond, but she eventually told me that she would be at my place in the afternoon the next day. I was an anxious mess the next day, and Alfie helped calm me down. And when Lucy's car pulled up in the driveway, Alfie went up to our bedroom and hid there until Lucy left. We wanted to make it seem like I was home alone so Lucy would feel comfortable enough to confess to me. Lucy didn't even let me greet her. She cut right to the chase. So, what did you want? Why do you think that I want something? Let's not beat about the bush. You and I both know that we don't talk. I was glad that we went so long without talking, and then you had to go and ruin my joy. Wow. You could have just said no if you didn't want to talk to me. But where's the fun in that? I know that you must have something important to discuss with me if you had to invite me over to your place. Fine, I did need to talk to you about something. Knew it. I'm giving you 5 minutes to get it over with. It's come to my attention that you've been spreading lies about me. What? Do you honestly think I have that much time on my hands to smack talk you? I think you do, because that would explain why no one in your family wants to talk to me and always look at me with disgust. I can't help it if you're insecure, Mabel. Maybe don't blame me for it and people will like you. Stop lying and just admit it. You told Laura that I thought that all the women in your family were inferior. You also spread lies about me cheating on my high school boyfriend. Laura would not have thought of them herself. She has no reason to. Okay, fine. I do spread lies about you, but only because I don't think you deserve to be a part of this family. You stole my son from me, and you need to be punished for it. So, you spread disgusting lies about me? What else have you told people about me? Oh, nothing too big, just things like you tricked Alfie into marrying you so you could pay off your huge credit card debt, and you talked about everyone behind their backs. You think kids are gross, which is why you don't want to spend time around my nephew's kids. My God, you really made me into a monster. Why would you do something so horrific to me when I haven't done anything to hurt you? You took my son from me. You think that's not hurtful? I didn't take your son from you. Alfie loves me and he chose to be with me. You need to tell everyone that you were lying about the things you said about me. No way. I need everyone to hate you so Alfie will finally see that you're not good and he'll leave you. That's never happening. But what will happen is that you will get caught in your lies, especially now that I'm on to you. What are you going to do? Tell everyone that I was lying? Like that will work. I'll just tell them that you're trying to paint me in a bad light since I revealed your true character to them. They'll believe it. They're just that stupid. How can you call your family stupid? Whatever, that's just the truth, and I don't have to listen to your moral teachings. I don't have time for this. I know that I planned to get a confession out of Lucy, and I already knew the truth about everything, but hearing her confess to everything so nonchalantly really hurt. It took everything in me to not tear up and cry in front of her. I didn't understand why she thought that I took her son when Alfie willingly wanted to be with me. Did she really think that I had brainwashed him into being with me? What use did I have of a man who was forced to be with me? What does that say about me? My head was spinning with thoughts and my heart was racing with panic. Alfie had to calm me down after Lucy left, and when I was finally calmed down, I knew that more than anything, I needed to expose Lucy for the fraud that she was. I counted down the days until Laura's dinner party. When the day came, Alfie and I dressed as nice as we could. Then we made sure we had the video on a USB and made our way over to Laura's. When we got there, everyone was super nice to Alfie and they barely acknowledged me. The only difference this time was that Lucy would purposely make eye contact with me whenever she was talking to somebody and would smirk at me as if to taunt me. It stung, but I knew that the tables were going to turn soon. Right before dinner, Alfie announced to everyone that he and I had something to share with everyone. Laura loved to use a projector to project pictures of the family whenever she hosted dinner, so we had the perfect apparatus to showcase Lucy's disgusting behavior, and that's exactly what we did. We played the video of Lucy confessing to her lies, and as an added bonus, I included the clip of her calling her family stupid. By the end of the video, you could hear a pin drop because of how silent everyone got. They turned to look at Lucy in shock, and Lucy looked like she'd seen a ghost. What followed was like something out of a slow-motion video. Laura was the first to ask Lucy if the video was true. Lucy was too shocked to say anything, so everyone knew that it was. Then everyone began hounding her for behaving so disgustingly towards me and for corrupting their family values. As much as I wanted to stay, Alfie told me that it was best that we leave, so we did just that. Laura texted me a few hours later and apologized for Lucy's lies and for believing those lies. I assured her that I was not upset with her or the rest of the family because they didn't know any better. I mean, why would you suspect the eldest person of your family to lie so appallingly? Anyway, the next day, Lucy came banging at our door to yell at me for recording her and exposing her. "You recorded me!" I think that was pretty evident since I played the recording in front of everyone. "Do you even know how much you've ruined my life?" I was just telling everyone the truth since you refused to do it. You know, you wouldn't have been in this position if you didn't tell everyone lies about me. I only wanted what was best for my son. And you thought hurting my wife was the best thing for me? No, I thought that you and our family deserved someone better than this lowlife. Wow, you really have no shame, do you? I was only doing what needed to be done. How dare you turn my family against me? You did that to me. I was treated like I had the plague or something. You don't even know how humiliating it was. I needed it to be humiliating, or else you would never leave. So you wanted her to leave, knowing that it would absolutely crush me? You do realize how insane you sound, right? So what if you were a little heartbroken? I'd have been there to help you get back up on your feet. I'm not insane for caring for my child. You're just twisting it into something ugly. No. What's ugly is your behavior. How could you willingly put someone through so much? You almost destroyed Mabel and her connection to our family because of what? Your jealousy? I'm a grown man, Mom. I'm not a child anymore. There's no reason for you to be so overprotective of me. I'm always going to be protective of you. No one will ever love you in the same way that I do. But clearly you don't love me enough. Do you really not care that I got humiliated? Your wife recorded me and then played that recording in front of everyone so I would get embarrassed and so that everyone would abandon me, which they have because they're apparently disgusted with me. Why would I care about how you feel when you didn't care about what Mabel felt? Besides, it was my idea to record your confession and expose you. What? How could you? How could I not? You've been tormenting my wife for so long, and I was not going to let that go on any longer. You needed to be put in your place, and you have. So deal with the consequences of it all now. This is all Mabel's fault. She's brainwashed you and the entire family against me. You need to start taking responsibility for your own actions. And you need to stop thinking of everyone in your family as stupid. Every one of them, including Alfie, is capable of making their own decisions, and they decided that you were a horrible person for what you did to me. And so they don't want to be associated with you. And neither do we, so please get off our property and never come back. We've had enough of your shenanigans. Bye. Alfie slammed the door in Lucy's face, and it felt like the end of a chapter in our lives. Finally, I felt like whatever needed to be resolved got resolved, and I could breathe freely. Alfie apologized once again for his mother's rude words, but I saw no reason for him to apologize, especially since he so beautifully stood up for me and even helped orchestrate how Lucy got exposed. I thanked him profusely instead. In the days that followed, I got a lot of messages and calls from Alfie's family members that were apologies for the way that they had treated me. A lot of them told me that every time they wanted to come and talk to me about what Lucy had told them, Lucy would tell them something even more egregious about me, which would make them upset and not want to confront me about it. I was genuinely upset that Lucy had gone to such lengths just to get rid of me. I would have much preferred her telling me she hated me to my face rather than her doing all of this. In doing this, she ended up not only hurting me, but also her family, because I know for a fact that they're all lovely people, and she made them out to be mean and uncaring people. Needless to say, none of them wanted to keep contact with Lucy. I heard reports from all of them that Lucy had tried contacting them and convincing them that I had altered the video to make her seem like she was saying a bunch of rude things. But I knew she would say something like that, which was why I purposely sprung for a camera that had timestamps on it. If I doctored it, it would have been very visible. When Lucy realized her lies were no longer working, she switched to victimizing herself. She went around telling everyone the same narrative that she was telling us, that she was only doing what was best for Alfie. No one was buying a single thing she was saying, and nothing made me happier than seeing her realize that she had no power over her family. What did she expect when she insulted all of them? Anyway, Alfie and I blocked Lucy everywhere, but I'm sure that she's been blasting my phone with a lot of messages detailing exactly why I was the reason for everything that was happening to her and how much she hates me for it. I couldn't care. Alfie and I are happy, and we're hosting a dinner party next weekend. I'm so excited to finally get to spend proper time with his family and to finally get to know them well. I guess I just wanted to tell you all through my story that what goes around comes around. Be nice to everyone around you and you'll only get good things. If you don't know just how bad things can get for you. Thank you for listening to my story.